I want to talk about this sketchy cable. So, you might not think the cables are very exciting, but apparently, Linus Tech Tips has somehow managed to make that possible. If I touch this cable that is connected to my monitor, let's see, is it going to turn off? And it's turned off. Every time. I can't show you right now. I should have plugged in my webcam, but this cable I'm using is so fucking sketchy. It's from a local tech store called MSY. MSY, in the past, used to provide really, really solid cables. They've always been a part of they've always used these cables marketed or branded as CableList. CableList is basically one of those, like, cable resellers that go and bundle whatever cables they find and packages their own thing. They don't actually make them, they just say, this is CableList. I can literally find the exact same cables on eBay. But recently, CableList seem to have changed either the supplier or something about the cables they're using, and their fucking HDMI and DisplayPort cables are so sketchy. I thought it was just one cable. Like, one dead cable, one faulty cable is one thing. But I've swapped between the HDMI to DVI, the HDMI to HDMI, and both of them have the exact same problem. Every time I slightly bump it, the cable just disconnects. Like, the signal disconnects. And it's seemingly not a problem with the monitor. It could be a problem on my GPU end, but it doesn't happen with my second monitor. The second monitor turns on basically instantly, and no matter what I do, no matter how much I move the monitor, it stays on. I don't get it. So I've got new cables on order from eBay, getting me some other off-brand cables, no-name cables, but these are no-name cables which I recognize. Why is it that going to eBay and buying trashy cables that should not work, like, they should be awful, in many cases are better quality than what you can get from companies that are willing to put a brand on their product? I don't get it. Like, all of my USB cables I've gotten from eBay, all of my HDMI cables, all of my audio cables, anything like that, all of the knockoff trash I bought from eBay has always been higher quality than anything that is branded, and also cheaper. Like, have you ever seen a HDMI cable from a company willing to put a brand on their product, whether that be Monoprice or anyone like that? It's always more expensive than the exact same cable that you can find on eBay. Because brands typically imply quality, and people are willing to pay for quality. But in many cases, I don't want to throw Monoprice under the bridge. Monoprice isn't a thing in Australia, so I have no idea if their cables are any good. But quality is not what I've been getting buying these CableList cables. So from now on, I'll still shop at MSY, because MSY is convenient to, get PC hardware, and I don't expect them to be doing anything, shoddy with Ryzen 3600Xs or anything like that. But when it comes to cables, like, it's just, unless I desperately need a cable right now, I'm just gonna get it off eBay. I'm just gonna get it off Amazon. I'm just gonna use the really sketchy listing where they barely list what the cable can do, and it still is somehow a better cable. Maybe it doesn't, meet the entire spec they say, but if I buy an HDMI 2.1 cable and it's got at least the video signal for HDMI 2.1, is 2.1 a thing? I don't know. I just said 2.1. 2.0 we'll say. I'm pretty sure it is. Cables have the display cable standards are a mess. Yeah, 2.1 is a thing. 2.1a. Whatever. Honestly, it's overkill for what I'm doing anyway, because I've got a 1080p 165Hz monitor. So 2.0, I actually think 1.4 will do that. Is 1.4? No, 1.4 I think limits to 144 Hz at 1080p. HDMI 1.4 refresh rate. 120 at 1080. Okay. 120 at 1080 then. And 2.0, I think it's 240. If I recall correctly. Yeah, 240 or 200. Which does, you know, like that's more than I need. I don't have a 240 hertz monitor, and I have no plans to go above 1080p anytime soon. I've had some people saying, oh, when you buy your new monitor, you should go up to 1440p. But that breaks recording, because then if I capture something, then it's not going to scale down properly to 1080p. So when people see it on a 1080p monitor, it's going to look a little bit weird. It will look fine at 720p, but yeah. Also, it won't look good on a 4K monitor because you're scaling up then, and it's not a perfect resolution scale. So you're going to have, like, visual guessing of some sort. Compression artifact. No, not compression of scaling artifacts. Something like that. I'm going to stick with 1080p. That's my plan. So 2.0 is good. Is good, and my cables are good. Like, actually, here's one thing. I have had a cable list cable from the old cable list for 5 years, plugged into my TV, almost being used every single day. Never a single problem with that cable, and it's a long cable. Like, that's a 4-meter cable or something stupid like that. Never a single problem. This cable I buy 3 weeks ago. Issue. Of course. Because why not? It's fucking dumb.